Welcome to Pathfix. If you are looking to add integrations in your application, you've come to the right place. Pathfix enables you to quickly add user-facing integrations that allow you to pull and push data via APIs from your app into your users' connected third-party applications. Pathfix works in the background, handling the entire authentication, or most commonly called OAuth process, across hundreds of providers. Once your app has been authenticated by your user, you can make any API call to the provider through Pathfix. We handle the authentication and tokens required for the API call and pass the data back to you. This gives you complete freedom on the APIs you wish to call, without having to worry about any of the authentication elements. Here's how quickly you can add OAuth integration in your platform with Pathfix. Before you begin, you will need to register your developer app with the provider. Why do you need this? Because this allows your users to authenticate your developer app that is owned by you. If you need help with setting up your provider developer apps, we have documented this process for some of the more complex platforms in our documentation page. You can view them by going to docs.pathfix.com. Once you have your developer app credentials, log into your Pathfix account and configure the integration for the provider you want to integrate with. The providers are listed here based on the type of authentication process. OAuth is the standard process. Identity is for when you want to add a login module to your app. Client API is for providers that use a key-based authentication. Search for the provider you want to offer the integration with and click on it. On the configuration window, you simply add your client ID and secret. Here, you can also add or remove scopes you want to access and hit save. Your OAuth process is now set up and completed. The next thing to do is test the connection to make sure your developer app is set up correctly. Click on Test Connection. Click on Connect to connect an account. On successful OAuth connection, you can run a few test APIs from the drop-down option. Once you confirm the connection works as expected, it's time to implement this in your application. Click on Setup, and depending on the platform you are building your app on, you can choose the option available here. Click on OAuth Connect button and copy the script tag. There are a few replacements you will need to do: public key, private key, and user ID. The user ID field in the code will need to be replaced with a unique ID associated with the user in your application. This can be a unique alphanumeric character or email. Make this replacement and paste it on the page where you want the Connect button to show. Once you add the script tag, your OAuth Connect button for the provider will show available for your user to connect. Once your user is connected, you can make any API call for the provider. Each API, just like the test screen, will need to be a post through Pathfix. Pathfix will stamp the call with the required tokens, send it to the provider, and get the data back to you. We have detailed documentation on specific providers, Developer Center for in-depth information that you can find at docs.pathfix.com. Here's to building customer-focused integrated solutions.